Hey, this video is going to be about a lot of interesting things, okay? I'm not very sure where to start, but I've been feeling so much energy right now that I find it super important that I just talk about the different things. And maybe this topic will lead to another topic, which will lead to another topic, and we'll get off topic. And that's totally fine with me because we're exploring the mind. I'm exploring, I feel like that's the best way to find spirituality sometimes is to explore the mind and explore yourself and question things that that you feel need to be questioned. So I wanted to start off by saying that I hope that everybody is doing okay right now during this quarantine and that we are all at peace and not going through any type of hardship. I know some people are going through hardship, and I want to let you know that we are all in this together and we are all going to make it through this together. All we have to do is have faith and continue in living in our light, and we will be okay. Okay, we will be okay, and everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. All right. So, with all that being said, that's what I really want to talk about. So, this quarantine, a lot of people on social media have been talking about how we're finding ourselves, we're healing, we're getting back in touch with who we really are, and all that is very, very true. There are some things that are happening right now and aligning so that we can have this new age of Aquarius that I was talking about in my last video. So this new age of Aquarius is enlightenment, and enlightenment requires a new type of perspective of God, a new type of perspective of the universe, and what really we're here for. It also is going to change the dynamics of your relationships and the way you look at relationships, the way you look at work. It's all happening and aligning for this new age. And in the physical creation, we have to have things that happen. So as above, so below. The things that happen physically are just a manifestation that are happening in the underworld underneath. Okay, so we have to be conscious of that, and everything that ever happened, no matter how tragic it was supposed to happen, and it was supposed to happen to be a catalyst to a movement for another age. Okay, if it's not another age, another way of thinking, a new dynamic or change. And for example, the Holocaust. That's a very sensitive subject, and I don't know if a lot of people are ready for that, but Hitler went to heaven. Hitler did his purpose. He fulfilled it, and his fulfillment, like there's no right or wrong, okay? And that's what this new age of enlightenment is going to show you, that there is no good or bad, no right or wrong. See, what it is you align with what you align with, because your sole purpose is to make a change, an impact in the world. Okay? And Hitler did that. When I say he could not have been as great as if we didn't support him. And when I say we, I mean his people. Okay? We blame him, but it was all those people. He could have never done anything without their approval, without their acceptance. They believed him. And what that was showing you how collectively us as human beings, we believe in separation, and we believe in war, and we believe in hatred. And what Yahweh and our Creator is trying to show us is that it doesn't need to be separate. It can be yin and yang together. It can be unified. It can come together. We don't have to be separate. So with Hitler, it was like, without people seeing how far, like, Hitler was just like a ball of energy. Like, everyone just kept pumping and pumping him up. And it's the same thing that's happening today in our society, that we do with celebrities, that we do with Donald Trump, our president. And some people just keep idolizing these people. And what it is showing is that as a collective group of human beings, as a collective group of spiritual energy, we are still vibrating low. This age of enlightenment is going to test people. Like, look, you're either getting on this bandwagon or you're not. You're either riding this wave or you're not. And you either get it or you don't. And it's going to be, I understand the hardship. I feel like almost like a ticking time bomb on my chest. Like, I've had to reevaluate people in my life, because it's like you're starting to see that divide of mentality. Like, you can't, it's either people are going to rise higher, they're going to vibrate down to the underworld, and they're going to be in the below. And if you're going to be in the below, then you're going to resurface back up karmically over and over and over again. And I don't know about you, but people like me and other people, we want to ascend. We are done, okay? We have done this life, and we want to keep living without death. And in the Bible, I know he talks about, if you have victory, those that have victory don't fear the second death. And that is everything, okay? Because the second death is this death that we're going to experience in this life. And don't be scared of it. If you have victory right now here in this life, if you know that what you're doing is fulfilling your purpose, and that you are moving the way you're supposed to be moving, and there is no burden on you, there's no hardness in your heart, no anger, then you are good. You are good. But everybody else is going to be suffering because they want to hold on to pain. They want to hold on to hurt and confusion and illusions. And they're only being confused and put into illusion by the illusionist. And that's the biggest thing. We are all a collective group of people that need to rise. And the problem is that you keep blaming people, but the people that are doing things to you is a mere reflection of you. And I know some people are like, well, like, no, the stuff that happened to me, I have never done to anybody, and I would never. And what that is a lie. I'm telling you, like, the stuff that happened to me that was karmic, I didn't even do it physically, but mentally, I did. Mentally, I was doing something or thinking about something that was sabotaging what was happening in my physical life. And what happened with that was then karma brought people into my life that showed me, like, hey, those things that you're thinking are real and they can be manifested. And they manifested though that backfired on me and got me to see like, whoa, the things that I'm thinking about, the mistrust, everything that I have in my head only pushes what I want away. Because what wants me, what I like, what, well, how I say this, what is for us is always there. And it shows itself like the teacher presents itself when the student is ready. So just keep that in mind, because I have to constantly keep that in mind, because it's self-evaluating the way I talk, self-evaluating the way I think. Mindset is everything. You need to have a growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. Because if it's fixed, and that was just it was just 11/11/01 when I said that. So if you want to check that out, I've been really hitting spot on these numbers. I'll have to make another video for that. It was just 11/11. It was just 11/11 when I said that. So consciously start evaluating everything you say, everything you do, looking at people for who they really are, and not trying to change anyone, but standing in your own light, standing on your own 2 feet, and what you truly believe and honor. Because those that truly love you, those that truly are for you, they're going to see you stand in what you believe, and they are going to respect you for that. And they will either adjust their behavior or they will not. And if they do not, then you have a choice to make. You can choose to say, okay, maybe I'll let it go. Maybe it wasn't that big a deal. And then you have a choice. All right, well, I'm going to sit. I'm going to just keep doing what I do. Okay, don't sit. Sorry, I'm sitting. Doing what you're doing. And if this person comes down the road after their journey and they say, hey, I see what you were doing back there. I saw how you were standing your ground, and I didn't see it then, but I see it now. And that is growth. And you should never want to intrude on someone's growth. It is a journey, it is a process, and it is an experience. It is an experience. And if you are constantly interfering with someone's experience to grow, then you are reflecting yourself, because you are hindering your ability to grow. Because if you had growth, you wouldn't want to control or have any of that on you. So, as like I told you, all this stuff is just coming in. So with this quarantine and things happening, it is a sad time for some. Like I'm telling you, on social media, like it's crazy how we're constantly getting updated on the amount of passings. Like, rest in peace to all the people that have passed from the COVID-19, because what is going on right now is not just a physical war, but a spiritual one. And I don't know any of the people. I don't know anyone that has passed. I've just heard. And if you have lost someone, I'm so sorry. We have to start doing the work. And the work is easy. Hard work is easy work. Because usually we fool around so much with the answer, the key. Oh, that we're like, you know what? I've got time to check out whatever else I'm really interested in. And I think that's the thing. Like, even in the wilderness of Sinai, that's what I think about. There's this constant wondering for those 40, I think 40 years. I think it was 30 or 40. No, 40. 40 years. And it's like, why? And it's like, you know what? Yahweh allowed them to have what they wanted. They wanted to complain and quarrel and not do anything and complain to Moses about how they didn't have food and they should have just stayed slaves and they should have never tried to escape. And, you know, Yahweh was like, you know, if you want to stay in that energy, here's 40 years. Like, I'll let you stay in that energy every year if that's what you want to do. And I think, like, what is happening right now is like we've separated ourselves from Egypt. And in order for things to actually unify, we had to make that move. Like Pharaoh and his people, his men, were not going to respect Moses or respect what was what was prophesized if they didn't do it. If they just talked a bunch of shit about how they were going to do it. Okay, so that's like what I feel. Like right now we are in a place where we have to honor who we are and honor what we really want to do in our life. And if we are not doing that, then we are being untruthful and we are blaspheming our own selves. And like with everything that's going on, we have to try to see what this physical life will look like when we return. And when I say return, because everybody's talking about returning back to work, are you going to return back to work? Maybe, like some of you don't even want to go back to work. Some of you started your own business. Some of you enjoy being a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad. Does the ideas of work change now? Does work seem like something that benefits you? Like, I want to be honest with people because we kind of like everybody's been like, bring me back to work. And I know they're talking about that paycheck because it's like they got laid off. But you are getting some assistance from the government, and that's supposed to help a little bit. But I guess my thing is, how much do you enjoy working? How much do you enjoy having someone micromanage you? Do you have a passion or career or some sort of talent that you're really supposed to be doing? Is this your time to discover it? Okay, so like those are the things that I really personally think are going on, including healing childhood trauma. Like every kid that's with their parent right now is healing. They're seeing their parents in their true light. They are seeing the reality. They're either asking questions or they're enjoying themselves. So, as a parent myself, take this time to make sure that if there's anything that you feel you want to clear the air about with your child or your children or your spouse, that you do it now. Do it now because a lot of this work life has been intervening with our personal home life. Like, seriously. Like, I don't know. I'm just starting to feel like work is becoming our biggest focus. Like, oh, I'm gonna get here, then get here, then get here. And it's just, I'm constantly thinking about how I can rise to the top. As in, my family is losing time with me. Yeah, the money's great, but they're losing time with me. They're losing me. If I died, of course they lost me, but like, where's those memories? Where's those like visions and dreams about the time we spent? They're not there. And I think that working needs to be balanced and it needs to be evaluated. I know even this whole healthcare thing is really going to change the way people look at work, because I know some people that were so scared to even call off if they were not feeling well. In the sense that they might get fired or their boss would get upset. But with this COVID-19, it's like, nah, people are taking health and the flu and sneezing and coughing and social distancing so much more seriously. Why? It took a whole pandemic. That's what I'm saying. The same thing as Hitler. It is going to take a pandemic for people to realize they need to correct some stuff that's not going right. And it's 2202. Okay, so that's three twos. Look that up. Um, that people are going to need to correct some things that us as people, because the way we think is not right. We are making people come to work when they are worn out, when they are burnt out, when they're sick. Look, I know personally, even myself, I know one time I literally had the flu, and it was like one one or 2 days. And I'm like, dude, I seriously am sick. Like, I can't just take off for a day, or even two. And then the flu doesn't even leave your body for a couple days. Like, it's just, you know. So, but now this pandemic is going to shift the way that we look at society, the way that we look at things, about the way our world is governed. Like, look at all these people that are out of work, which is causing companies to shut down. Like, how are you guys shutting down? Like, I mean the corporations. Like, how are you shutting down? Like, that lets me know that 10% of the money you're making from your company is going to the workers, and 90% of it is going to you. And you must have spent it with your family or whatever, stocks or bonds or interest. I don't fucking know. Because I don't understand how all these big companies are starting to shut down. They can't pay any of their workers. Like, where's your emergency funds? Where's all this? Like, you've been taking out my taxes. Like, as an employer, it doesn't make sense. I can understand small businesses, but these big corporations, that's pretty crazy to me. And that's all going to cooperate with that stock market, but that's a whole nother video because my brain won't even go that far right now. So this was just me just venting and just talking about a lot of things that have been on my mind. I'm gonna definitely, like I told you, be coming out with harder content, cooler videos, but right now I don't have all that equipment, and I want to keep you guys interested, and I know that somebody out there needs to hear this. So please like, share, comment, subscribe, I feel like other people need to hear this, and I love playing devil's advocate, and I want to hear what you guys got to say. Okay? All right. Thank you. Lots of love and light. Peace.